Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this. Good everything. Happy hello. Yeah. VicMonado here, reporting at you live from WVBA with our next circuit, the major circuit in our Let's Play of Punch-Out! Wii! It's not really called Punch-Out! Wii, it's just Punch-Out!, but people just know it's Punch-Out! Wii because heck, you know, you probably would just assume it's the NES one. That's the most famous version anyway. Nobody really talks about the arcade one, really. There are slight differences. For instance, you know, I'll only get into that when it comes along. This guy, Piston Hondo, he's only lost one match in his career, which is quite impressive for someone who's so low in the major circuit, and I just love the way his mouth is just like a really big M. I wish all us Asians were able to do that stuff. I mean, I can't really do that. Then again, I'm not exactly Japanese Asian. So. Oh yeah, one thing. Oh crap, I thought he was going to do it, he didn't do it. Okay, basically when he bows, you can star punch him and it's an immediate knockdown. You can try and go for a star, but I prefer just doing an immediate knockdown. Because that's one of the only ways of doing it. And after you've knocked him down once, he won't do that bow again, so it's best just to take the opportunity, especially if you want to go for a quick TKO of this guy. You can stop that uppercut, but you get more punches than if you just stop it by dodging first. He has a weird twitch in his eyebrow, which is a real problem. I mean, it persists to this day from his original game, where it basically warns you when he's about to bust punch you. Which, I guess, it can't be a good thing. Japanese guy, he's not very ninja-esque. And yes, you can punch him just before his special move at the right timing to get an instant knockdown as well. So there are two ways of getting an instant knockdown with Piston Hondo. Both of which aren't too difficult to figure out. I mean, one of them's really obvious, the bow is really obvious. But if you don't manage to stop it, you should probably start blocking, because that's the main way to dodge that technique without getting a single hit, is to block it. That's the traditional way of fighting this guy, if you're not going for, like, tactics. Overall, I just love the way he speaks. You know, I love his redesign. In the first game, he kind of looked like a really Asian Mike Tyson. He was really buff like the other ones, and just really big, like an ogre. But in this game, they made him look more human, I guess you could say. And oh, that's our first knockdown of our videos. Showing that the Major League circuit can be more difficult than the minor league. These guys actually do put up a fight. I mean, first instance where you can go for a fight without really having to dodge a lot more and strategizing, but he's no less easy. He goes down usually saying sushi, eggs, quoting famous Japanese food. Well, eggs don't really come from Japan, they come from everywhere really, don't they? Nevertheless, he says it in Japanese so because it sounds impressive to us foreigners who don't understand what they're saying. Super fighting! It's called Super Mech. Now would be like stealing off Mario, because like, yeah. And we're already pretty big. I mean, for being called Little Mac, you're not really that little. I mean, 5'7" I guess is quite short, but considering you're aged, I think you're aged 17, that's not that bad a height, and you're really buff for someone who's 17. I mean, I'm not even sure if you can really get into such serious boxing at that age. I mean, the workouts you gotta do for boxing, if you do it too young, I think it can result in muscle degeneration. And he looks really mature for a 17-year-old. Yeah. My god, I could never imagine myself doing anything like that at that age. But then again, can't really compare an athlete to someone like me. Anyway, backing on track here, we've got Bear Hugger, from Canada, where I'm convinced Brother Bear took place, but I don't have any proof of that. He makes a return from the SNES game, so he wasn't in the original NES game. He's kind of, in this game he's kind of just a tougher King Peppo really, but you can't understand what he's saying, so that's a plus obviously. Knocking him down, he says timber, showing that he is actually a lumberjack. Serious fact has been revealed about one of our boxers. This fact changes everything. He's actually a lumberjack. It's funny that actually the Major League boxers are the ones that actually kind of have jobs, you know, lumberjack, Piston Hondo maybe seems to work at a dojo of some kind. You know, the Major League boxers seem to actually have jobs, while the minor league circuit people just don't really seem to have jobs, but they're still rich enough to continue boxing even though they can't box for crap. It's so funny. It's like the major league ones have to keep a job going to keep going, but like the other ones don't. You'd think boxing would be enough for major league, especially since Disco Kid's got a mansion, a big car, all that stuff. I mean, I guess you could say that he's a professional dancer, but you never see him like actually performing at a show or anything. So like, you only see him partying, which doesn't really imply he gets paid for it really. Maybe he's an extra in like Austin Power films or something. And again, I don't think is that kind of Disco's when it's 60s. I don't. And you punched that maple leaf out of them. Yes. That's where maple leaves come from. A Canadian man's jaw, or beard, or wherever. Yeah! I am the champion! Well, not the champion just yet. 2 boxers left.
They say boxing is fighting, backed by technique. I think you just proved it, kid. Great fight.
Ooh, triple exclamation marks at the end. You see that? That shows just how great it was. Great fight, great fight. I don't know, I think a great fight is when both combatants kind of, you know, take equal damage and it's really close. That, no contest, really no contest just yet, but I'm still dreading when it eventually does get really difficult. And I've already just learned, because it's my first LP, that when you, yeah, I mean, I've heard of it before, but you don't play half as good as you normally do if you're recording and talking at the same time. It just doesn't gel very well together. I mean, you can try something very similar to this. Have someone in the same room as you as you're playing a game, and you know usually like you'll die when someone comes in. And you're like, oh my god, you made me die. It's your fault. You came and talked to me. Well, it's similar to that, except it's always there because you're commentating on this. This guy, Great Tiger from the NES game. His father was a famous magician from India. You can get 3 stars off this guy really easy at the start because his gem, when it sparks yellow, you can get a star punch off it. You have to dodge the right move this guy, otherwise you will take a hit. So, okay. But he does pause for a good amount of time, so no problem there. In the NS game, you can punch him as he ducks. I think you can do it in this one too, get a 3 star. So I think I'm gonna try doing that. I mean, I am trying to beat these as quickly as possible at the moment. I don't really want to go into any breaks at the moment. Oh my god, I'm not doing it. I don't know, I could end up like slapping myself in the face and like making these last longer as a result. Red ones is a thrust punch. It's almost similar to the yellow one, but you don't get a star off it. And if you punch him at the wrong time, he will teleport. Teleport! That's a special move. He splits stuff into a clone, one of them's fake, one's real. Really obvious which one's fake. And you just dodge whenever the right one, you know, the one that's correct, blows. That's it. Just dodge the right way. Very simple. It's changed a lot since his original NES counterpart, like his special moves. Perhaps not for the best, but it's fine, it works. I particularly like the sound he makes when you punch him in the stomach. Oh, you didn't get it there, he just went, oh. But, if you do it right, if you punch him the right way in the stomach, I love how we're discussing the sound effects you can get from hitting someone, but, if you punch him right in the stomach, you get AYE-YOH! I love it when he says that. I laugh every time. AYE-YOH! He has 2 different versions of the AYE-YOH. One's more serious, a longer sustained AYE-YOH, and a shorter AYE-YOH. I just love AYE-YOH very much. AYE-YOH! Yes! Yes! He killed him just before 3 seconds left. And he is deatomized. Oh wait, no he's not. He's still there. Okay, so I actually wanted him to completely disappear into like... He immediately, when he set himself to like, immediately teleport to the hospital when he's knocked down. That way avoiding the crowds, you know, and stuff, and also avoiding humiliation of being knocked down. But no, he hasn't set it to teleport there just yet. I don't like winning by regular knockout. TKO is definitely the best. It's technical. You know, we're very technical in what I study, so it's great to be technical. It means that there was no chance they had a chance of how many times are we going to say chance? They had no chance of winning to begin with. It was futile. Don Flamenco from Spain. That probably wasn't a Spanish accent. The only Spanish person I really heard talk is Rafael Nadal from tennis. So it's a very bad impression. I'm so sorry to all Spanish people out there. Not that they'll probably be watching this anyway, to be honest. But if they do, I appreciate it as usual. But yeah, we found out he's a bullfighter. Again, see, Major League people have jobs besides doing boxing. When they don't really need it, they're actually not bad at boxing. They're not terrible. They're not Glass Joe, that's for sure. I just love how animated Don Flamenco is. Oh, I just skipped it, sorry. Basically, a Rose was going to come out of nowhere and he was going to catch it and then smell it, you know. You can punch him just before he does his uppercut and then get a star off it. The idea is basically he won't attack you unless you attack him first. He tries to counter like a bullfighter would. I love how he is actually an attacker because he'll say, never mind, he's not good at it. Fine, prove me wrong. Yep, and he'll count to 3 and do an uppercut. That's his special move. He's known for doing his uppercuts, and he counts to 3 uno, dos, tres. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I learned that from Dora the Explorer, which is great. Well, yeah, I'm not even going to bother trying to make an excuse because it'll just make it sound even more pathetic. Ole! Punching him at the right time again is always preferable instead of dodging. You can try and be safe, but I'm trying to knock him down as quickly as possible, so getting a star punch as much as possible is really key. He does a little twirl, well, little ballet kind of pose before he falls, which is nice. I keep saying ballet, I said ballet with disco kit. I'm sure that's not ballet, it's probably some other dance. Sorry, not a dance section. I don't watch Strictly! And, no, can't punch him before he does that. Yeah, the most he can't do is 3, and I think you can get him to to switch which direction he'll do those punches, but that doesn't really matter because you can always duck those anyway, and I'm gonna try and TKO him. Come on! 10 seconds left, come on, do something! Come on! Yes! But I didn't get a special animation, which that's the reason I try and get TKO, because you're more likely to get those special animations. Failed. Well, he would fall down with his rose in his arms, pretty much. That's the main disrespect. He was doing a pose as if he's in a coffin and died with the rose in his arms. I was kind of wanting to trigger that, but I think that only happens if you win by star punch. So. Apologise to everybody. I failed in that part, but at least I knocked him down with about 3 seconds and 27. I can't count. Yeah, that amount of time left to spare. Phew. I don't really want to go into intermissions because I know that will be happening a lot in the later videos, and I mean, I'm not really going to be happy about that, but what else can you do when it gets just this difficult? They've all been defeated, so we've conquered the minor circuit. Moving on. Montage time!
Hey, great work, Mac. Now let's
This part is always reused, but they always add in a slight variation like that. Or they reuse some, but just put them in different orders. That one's probably the hard. I hate setup. That's the worst thing. I mean, seriously, the exercise I need to do most is the setup, but oh my god, doing it while hanging must be an absolute pain in the ass. World circuit, shiny with stars, lots of stars. 52 stars actually. It's American run. Probably is American, but there's no 52 stars. I lied. Anyway, moving on to the world circuit. We'll have time for it in this video. I want to try and clear it in one video next time. But yes, tune in next time. Thank you for watching. Next time we will take on the world circuit and hopefully bring down the champion to actually beat this game. Our first opponent will be Aaron Ryan from Ireland, part of the country that I'm in actually. Well, depends if it's northern or southern. But thanks for coming. Well, thanks for tuning in. Stay classy.